First tip to improve your 2K time trial, know your current capacity and make sure you've got an idea of what your maximal aerobic speed is. And that's really important. There's no point following a program if you're just following targets or following the running partner all the time and your running partners are changing, or you're following a different workout every time. Some days you're just going hard off feel, other days you're going easy because you're feeling not that motivated. We want to take the emotions out of it and have a really clear program that is structured, progressively overloaded, but more importantly, specific to your capacity. So to work out your maximal aerobic speed, the research shows a minimum of a 6-minute max distance run. It would be the least amount of time to be able to get an idea of what that maximal aerobic speed is, to have an idea of how we can improve your VO2 max. So 6 minutes will be the minimum. You can do anywhere between 6 and 10 minutes to get that same effect. Number two, particularly for those that have got already quite a fast 2K time trial. So if you listen to this and your 2K time trials between 6 minutes and 7 minutes, repeat speed day is really important in your program because you're already moving at a pretty quick pace to get that time. So we want to be working above your maximal aerobic speed by at least 20%. So you're working at 120% if you're using MAS. I like to work out your anaerobic speed reserve for more repeat speed days, particularly because you may have a really average 2K time trial, but you're super fast. So for those guys, it's really important that we got an understanding what their max speed is. Otherwise, the repeat speed data we program, if we just go off their 2K time trial, will be far too easy and we're not going to get the stimulus to really challenge repeat speed day. So you can work out what's called their anaerobic speed reserve. Tip number three, something that probably gets overlooked a lot, and that's the importance of flexibility and mobility to be able to get in really efficient shapes. So if you're following an intense program, we want to make sure that you're looking after your ITB, your calves, your feet, quads, adductors, these muscles that are being constantly pushed to adapt need to also make sure that you're working in, you're not just constantly working out all the time. So I would recommend getting a deep tissue massage once a week, doing PNF stretching, particularly partner stretching if you can, to get a deeper stretch. If you can't, then just use some thick resistance bands to be able to get that deeper stretch, particularly important for stretching your hip flexors and your quads. And then from a tissue health point of view, I'd be getting a little crossbar or a golf ball underneath your feet to look after the arches in your feet, and making sure you're releasing your calves with a foam roller, as well as your adductors. Tip number four, days where your joints are sore. So we're not talking about muscle soreness. We're not talking about just feeling body fatigue or feeling low on motivation. We're talking about actually sore, like a sore knee, a sore foot, maybe early onset of shin splints, whatever it might be, and maybe it's an old injury. When you do get those early signs, the body does tend to let us know before it's a significant injury. I would go straight into your backup options of having some good aerobic swim workouts or bike workouts. And the best rule of thumb would be work 3 to 1. So 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, or 40 seconds on, 10 seconds off, things like that. Maintain, get good exposure of heart rate above 90% for those that have a smartwatch or heart rate strap. You just simply work out 220 minus your age and then times 0.9 to work out what we want to try and hit there. And that way we're getting a good aerobic stimulus. And then last tip number 7, have a target and use the running calculator, which is a link I'll add into the show notes of this podcast. It's fantastic. You've got I'm just looking at it now for those on YouTube, everywhere from between 5, 10K, half a marathon, 800 meters, 1500, all the way through to 2K time trial. You can enter in the distance, then you can enter in the time that you want to hit, minutes and seconds, and then it will give you your split times that you need to hit. So if you're running a 400 meter track, and let's say I'll just enter in someone that wants to hit a 6-minute 35, for 400 meters, they want to be averaging a 1-minute 19 lap time. So that can be really important in terms of helping your pacing. So that's 7 tips there to hopefully give you an advantage and hit a new personal best this summer. If any of these tips you've heard before, or if they're for the first time and you want to start implementing these, please let me know via Instagram or TikTok, or you can email me at jack@propelllikapro.com. I always love to hear how these podcasts are helping the listeners. So let me know if you found those tips helpful, and good luck with your training.